Hi, Virgo Sun and Rising. Welcome to your August 2024 Astro Update. It's Raina here. Wow. Well, first and foremost, this is the month of your solar return. Of course, some of you actually have your birthdays in September. Happy birthday to all of you, regardless, because as we wind down the month of August, you should find that your vitality is returning if you felt a little bit funky and drained. And this is also the whisperings of eclipse season, because in September there will be the first eclipse in Pisces, which is your opposite sign, and that could have quite an impact on relationship issues. But I'm not going to be talking about that during the August reading, so I just wanted to kind of give you a heads up on that, because you may feel those energies actually in August. So if anything comes up relationship-wise, remember what I said, because it is part of the grand scheme of things with eclipses and whatnot. There's a real destiny. Mars will be in the sign of Gemini throughout the month, actually coming in from August. And so this is a time when career matters are really like this frenetic energy for some of you, depending on how Mars is affecting you in the 10th house of career. I just went and looked back because I'm recording this in the earlier part of July, and Mars still hasn't entered Gemini. It will on the 20th of July. If you're listening in July, it will be the 20th that Mars enters this area. And it's significant in the sense that Mars is a personal planet, so it has a quicker transit, but it did retrograde from August of 2022 until, I'm sorry, it wasn't retrograde the whole time, but it was in the sign of Gemini from August of 2022 until March of 2023 because of a retrograde. And so that was, it hung out in your 10th house for like 7 months. So ever since then, it hasn't been there since March of 2023. So things are heating up in your career area. Watch out for any kind of clashes with people in positions of authority, because they might, there might actually be the case where it is more, how would I put it, like combative with people who are above you in the power structure in your career. However, and so in other words, that they may be initiating some of this clashing, but it's also possible that you are being like especially competitive and ambitious and trying to, make your mark, and that could step on the toes of such a person. So it's like either or. But you could just be super duper productive and getting a lot accomplished. On the 4th, Venus goes into your sign, and we have a new moon at 12 degrees of Leo. So we have the first house energy of Virgo. And by the way, this is a general reading, so all of these transits may not fall in the houses that I'm saying. It will be kind of adjacent, usually, the house placement. So keep that in mind, because if it doesn't happen this month, it might have already happened or it will happen. It's not that it can't happen at all. So with Venus in your sign, this makes you magnetic, Virgo, Virgo people, I don't know if you even care about being magnetic, because you just want to be productive. You want to do things that have substance to them and not just spin your wheels or look good, but there's nothing behind what you're doing to be to match that. And yet you like good things to come to you. You like people to have a favorable impression of you, and this could be how this plays out for you. You might have this irresistible, aura or what have you. And if you're somebody who's looking for a relationship, that certainly doesn't hurt. The new moon in the 12th house can favor spiritual activities that you initiate, or it can be spiritual developments of some sort. Maybe, you have a friend who invites you to their, where they like to meditate, their spiritual center or what have you, and you really enjoy it and you start going on your own. On the 5th, your ruler, Mercury, retrogrades at 4 degrees of Virgo, so an early degree of Virgo. So wow, that definitely can have an effect of making you reconsider something about yourself for some reason. And this may vary from person to person of how this plays out, because on the 14th, Mercury goes back into Leo, so therefore in that 12th house. And I want to say at this point, for anybody who is kind of like not really too knowledgeable about astrology, you might like it, but you haven't really like studied it or paid attention to the particulars, that if you're listening to this and your sun is in Virgo, you have an ascendant, you have a rising sign, and that is the natal chart, and it's dependent on your time of birth. That's the natal chart, and that's going to be, unless you have unless you have Virgo rising, it probably will be a radically different setup than these transits that I'm talking about. So that's why some people listen to their sun and their ascendant. But the mundane events, in other words, like the day-to-day events, the natal chart is kind of the go-to chart for that. So just keep that in mind, that you might find more accuracy with your natal chart transits. So anyway, when Mercury goes back into your 12th house, we're talking about the house that is ruled by your opposite sign, which is Pisces. This is the sign where the eclipse is going to occur in September, and Virgo and Pisces are the odd couple, because Virgo is all about organization, precision, discipline. Pisces is about this boundarylessness, this kind of timelessness. Whereas Virgo is like, the person who has a to-do list and the scheduling. And yet you need to immerse yourself in that energy as well. And you will find that becomes an important thing in your life. Maybe you are somebody who is always, very literal, but you don't see things symbolically. And you need to start doing so, because there might be signs, with these eclipses. These are powerful times of change, but they bring with them, with the North Node, the South Node, they're bringing these concepts of the comfort zone versus the area that you haven't really explored. yet that will provide you a lot of growth. So, like, the North Node will go into Pisces, and you will be really exploring that side of yourself. So this kind of is a prelude to that. And it's a time to it may be like asking of you to explore your spiritual side and not just rely on the version of yourself, which the first house is your self, but I would say with a small s, that is in the world. Okay? So being in the world but not of the world. That's what the I'd say this 12th house and this first house, the kind of the straddling of those two sides of life. Okay? So and who are you? Like, if you look at your mind, since Mercury is your ruler, you look at this. Are you in love with your thoughts, your practical thoughts? Is this the totality of life, And kind of looking at the bigger picture, perhaps, too. On the 19th, we have a full moon at 19 degrees of Aquarius. So Aquarius for you is the 6th house, which is the house that you rule, Virgo. So you're going to have this full moon in this practical earth house, in, the house that you rule. And what can that mean? I think it means that you have some kind of understanding or spiritual download about, the place of the practical in your life, the day-to-day in your life, the work in your life. Meaning that I consider Virgo one of the workaholic signs. That might be too negative. Maybe I should say one of the signs that is really geared towards work. And that work is your life's blood. And it doesn't have to be a career per se or your own business. It could be, doing things around the house. But you tend to be somebody who's always fixing this, cleaning that. And there's nothing wrong with being productive. But if you think that that is how you are valuable, or what it is that you value in life, then you close yourself off to other areas that are equally, if not more important, such as your spiritual life, which that 12th house is all about, the opposite house. So this full moon may also bring something to a close that has to do with work matters. It's possible with Mars in that 10th house that you get a promotion. Maybe your hard work is paying off. The 6th house can be the house of health. So you may find out about some situation that you need to heal, or you decide to maybe do some kind of a detox. People do them sometimes at full moons in particular. And on the 22nd, the sun goes into your sign, so your vitality should start to come back as the sun meets up with your the degree of your sun or ascendant, and you're more in alignment with your goals and things of that nature. On the 28th, Mercury, your ruler, goes direct at 21 degrees of Leo in that 12th house. And I should say too, with the 12th house, is that this is dream state. So you maybe have had some really wild dreams that this can be prophetic. 12th house is psychic. But even like with Mercury retrograde in the 12th house, some of you who already are spiritual may have some kind of like urge to do past life regression, because the 12th house can be past lives. And that may, there might be a specific reason why you wanted to do that. And that has now led you to be able to move forward with what it is that you intend to do, moving forward with your life. On the 29th, Venus goes into Libra, which is your second house. By the way, this is, although the Libra solar eclipse is not occurring until October, it is at the very beginning of October, so you could almost include the eclipse season into the month of August, especially later in August when the eclipse energy may be more strongly felt. So that's an area of life that it has been shifting as well. So Venus here can be very helpful for maybe getting a raise at work. Maybe you got a promotion, now you're getting more money. But that could be a boost to your income in some way. Ease in making money. That can be a transit for you. Okay, that's what I have for you, Virgo. I hope that this resonated, and I hope that you have a great month. Thank you for listening. If you would like a personal reading, the link is below. Take care. Bye.